Hey guys, what's going on? So today we're going to be looking at the volume of prisms and cylinders. So the volume of a solid is the number of cubic units contained in its interior. So volume is measured in cubic units. For example, if your units are centimeters, your volume would be centimeters cubed. So area with units squared, because it's a two-dimensional measurement. Volume is cubic because it's three dimensions that you're observing. So volume is a three-dimensional metric or measurement. So again, volume is the amount of three-dimensional space occupied by an object. So in general, we say volume, especially for a prism and cylinder, is capital B times H, where capital B represents the area of your base, and H is the height, or again, really the distance that connects your two bases. So B is the area of your base. H is really the distance that connects your two bases. Okay? So volume for a prism. So typically for a prism, especially one like this, a rectangular prism, again, it's the area of your base times your height. Then more in particular, if it's something like a rectangle, the area of your base is just length times width. So the simplest example of volume is demonstrated by a rectangular prism, where we could even more simply say it's just length times width times height. Okay, for a cylinder, again, in general, it's still the area of your base times your height. Okay, but your base on a cylinder is a circle. The area of a circle is pi r squared. So we can say the volume of the cylinder is pi r squared times height, to be more specific. Let's take a look at a couple of examples. It says, find the volume of the solid. So let's say that this bottom rectangle, the one that's a 9 by 6, let's call that our base. Okay? So the area of our base is just 9 times 6, which goes to 54 centimeters squared. And then again, the height is the distance that connects our two bases. So one base is here, the other is this one down here. Okay, so the distance that connects our two bases that we're calling our height is right here at 3 centimeters. So then volume is then area of our base times our height, which in this case is 54 times 3, which gives us 162 centimeters cubed. Okay, and then for something like on B, we have a cylinder. Okay, so again, loosely we know that volume is the area of our base times our height. Our base in this case is a circle, okay, that has a radius of 9 feet. the area of our base in this case is pi r squared, or pi times 9 squared, which goes to 81 pi 8 squared. So 81 pi and then 8 squared. Again, our height is the distance that connects our two bases, which in this case is right here. The distance that connects our two circles is 6. So then our volume is the area of our base, 81 pi, times our height, which is 6. So if we want to leave it in terms of pi, we just do 81 times 6, which is 486. And then recheck that that's our pi. It's ET. And this is there. So that is essentially all there is to volume of prisms and cylinders. Okay. I'll do this last example and then talk about this a bit more about the formula. So now we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-sided polygon, so a hexagon. Okay. So remember that to get the area of a regular polygon, essentially just one that isn't a specific formula that you would find on your star sheet, is just 1/2 apothem times your perimeter. So this, again, is a hexagon. All these sides are equal. Each side is 12. So our perimeter is 12 times 6, which if you compute that, just goes to 72. And it just tells us outright that our apothem is 2√3. Okay? Don't forget your apothem goes from the center of your polygon to one of the sides. Okay, and it just tells us that it's 2√3. So we have no work to do. So the area of our base is just 1/2 apothem, so 2√3, times our perimeter, which is 72. Okay, so if we want to leave this exact, and if we compute this, that 1/2 and 2 cancel out, we're just left with 72 times √3. Okay, and when we want to leave it in exact terms, we leave it like this because the square root of 3 is not a pretty number. It's an irrational number, actually. So basically, if you want to leave it exact, you have to keep it because the decimal goes on forever. So you can't sit there and write out the decimals because you'd be doing it until the day you died, and you wouldn't even be close to being done because it goes on forever. So this shape, since it's a hexagon, there's two bases. This is just a hexagonal prism. Okay, our height, distance that connects the two bases, is 20 centimeters. Sorry, we've got the units up here. It would be centimeters squared. So our volume is just the area of our base, 72√3, times our height, which is 20. Again, since we have this √3 here, if we want to leave it in exact terms, again, this is really saying 72 times √3 times 20. So since it's multiplication, you could do it in whatever order you want. For example, 2 times 3 is the same thing as 3 times 2. We call that the commutative property. Just bringing that up just to say, again, if you want to leave in exact terms, then let's just do 72 times 20. Let's just multiply our prettier numbers together. So 72 times 20 is 1440, and then just bring that √3 back down. And that's it for the examples. Um, talk a little bit about the formula. Okay. The reason why for a prism and cylinder, it is the area of your base times the height for your volume is the way to see that is it's a little bit easier if you imagined, for example, on a cylinder, okay, where your base is a circle. It's essentially like saying you have a circle with a certain area, okay, like this, and your height basically represents how many of those circles are stacked on top of each other. So it's like adding up all the area of all those circles of that same dimension, that same area. They're all stacked on top of each other. So essentially, it's like finding the area of that base and multiplying it by the height, because the height is how many of those bases are stacked on top of each other. Okay, so that can maybe help explain why the formula for volume on prisms and cylinders is the way it is. But other than that, guys, that is it. Thank you.